Right. Don't ask me. Ain't got a clue. Come on. Where are you? Where are you? There we go. I think, I don't know. Was it Peter that said about putting the meat in boiling water? I can't remember. I'll give everyone a few minutes to turn up. I'm going to eat a Mars bar. In fact, I'm going to have a bucket of Monster Munch. Hold on a minute. Monster Munch and the pole blade in the water in the lake. Right. Let's wait for everyone else to get here. What was I doing? That's it. Need some Monster Munch for a minute. Wind's got a bit horrid. Right, get back to this. What was I saying? I was just saying to Peter that actually I'm not looking for the meat to fall fast. I'm actually looking for it to float down slowly in a sort of quite haphazard, floaty manner. Because I think the fish watch it. So, back down the edge. I don't know what happened. I think there was some kind of GoPro update. It wanted me to recertify and verify the account with Google. But anyway, we're back. Sorry for the disconnection. I haven't fished. I've just had a ham sandwich and some Monster Munch. So here we are. First put in. Gone back over. And the ground bait down this edge. I've still fed some maggots, and I've fed maggots on what might be the shallow line if they're up shallow, but let's just see what's here. The more I think about it, the more I don't like the idea of it being white hydro. The other side of these reeds towards that other platform. I think there's going to be too much to bite off that piece of weed, isn't it? I think there's going to be too much give in the elastic, and anything of significance. Well, anything actually, F1, because they fight so hard, is going to take me under, or could take me under that platform. Now they haven't yet. But they certainly could, and I'm wondering if I'm in this sort of scenario, fishing towards another platform, maybe I should just fish black hydro regardless. I'm not sure. I certainly can. I can fish it on a 013. You know, I've done that gold, caught £3 F1s on that, you know, 118 on Syndicate Lake, so there's not an issue from that point of view. I think it's going to be a bit more noisy, so what I'm going to try and get in my mind is, if I'm fishing short and it's not as it is today, which is I'm fishing over the reed bed towards the platform, then I'll fish white hydro, and if I'm over towards the platform, then I fish black. See there, they're good, they're being nice. I don't know if that's foul hooked or not. I'm losing a few down there though. So I'm going to switch this to a black hydro kit. Interesting, I started off on white, so now I've got a grey. I'm using a grey and a black. I just think it's not open water enough. Sorry, Peter. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah, I was just saying, Peter, I actually want the bait to fall slowly. The meat, I'm not worried about it falling fast. Right, I'm just going to change this to a black hydro kit. Excuse me. Yeah, I am. I blew my pole in the water a minute ago. Right, black kit. Lovely day for being outside. Wow, it's been raining on and off all day. There's another big cloud coming now. Unfortunately, I don't mind rain. That's why I've got waterproofs on. Wind on the other hand is just annoying. Right, I've got a black hydrant. Makes me feel a little bit more confident at dragging fish straight out of the peg and then not getting to that platform. It might actually be counterproductive, but there we go, straight out. I just think I can do that a lot easier with this black hydro kit on, and the fish are of a size where it doesn't matter, I'm not going to bump them, you know. There we go, beautiful fish down the edge. I think what I'll do is I'll call this episode 2, edge and shallow, maybe that. No idea if I'm going to catch shallow today, but I am here to practice. Part of that practice is to understand if they will come shallow. I'm convinced actually that they will. Going to keep with this. Like I said, I'm going to keep with this ground bait every put in, feeding maggots in between. But just using this pot of ground bait to say to the fish, you know, here, come here please, right under here, and help focus them on my rig. A bit far out there, actually. the speed I want to catch down this edge. Having a few, but don't know if that's because of the way I'm putting the bait in. It's a little bit too spread, I don't know, but so really I wanted a bite by now. Maybe I'm just being a bit impatient. Certainly fish there now. I'm happy about that. Not sure if you can see that. Just not see the side tray. But it's not as good as it was short on meat. So naturally, I think the next thing I would do to go and look at fish is I'd say I should go, right, that's the only danger. That's the only danger of fishing on the black hydro. That was a bream and it just pulled out of it. I think you just you foretold the future there, Peter. I don't think I'm going to bump any, you know, decent F1s, and I'm going to protect myself a little bit from carp, which is my fear. And I don't mind bumping the odd bream, because if I'm catching bream down there, I think I'm going to come off the line. Now the interesting thing about this spring festival is you can also use a rod, which you can't in a Daiwa Pole Masters and many other events here. It's a rod and pole event, and I do wonder if it's worth oh look, let's try. Is that foul hooked? I think it's foul hooked. I do wonder. I just need to chuck the bomb rod in the car. And for times like this, could you imagine it being really horrible wind? Can't catch enough fish shore or down the edge. Just ping 6 or 8 mil pellets towards the island and then just chuck a little bomb to the island and try and catch some carp. I think that's a thing you need to be thinking about. Might change the dynamic completely of how people fish in this spring festival. day like today. No, you can't fish the long pole to the island. It's too windy now. It wasn't earlier. I chose this peg for a couple of reasons. One, good connection. Two, I had the wind off my back. Now the wind's completely changed round. I was never going to fish to the island today because that's not what I wanted to practice. I wanted to practice meat short, down the edge and shallow. But if this was a match, then I would definitely have had a rig set up towards the island, and now I would find it unfishable. And on this spring festival, in theory I could just whip out the bomb rod and hurl it over there. I don't know. Yeah, I would definitely, you're right, it'd be silly to not have one if you're allowed one. The thing is, under what circumstances would I use it? Because if it was like today, you know, I'm not really catching down this edge. I'm persevering for it with a little bit, but this edge isn't really working the way I want it to. I might dump a lot of ground bait down in a minute though, by the way, and get the carp gear out, because that's what I said I would do if this happened. But I just fish short again. I guess if the short line dies, then I'll probably maybe fish down the track. I don't know. It's just a, maybe it's a, if nothing else is working and I've dumped a lot of ground bait down the edge and I'm waiting to see if carp will come down the edge, why not chuck a little bomb over that to that bank? Why not? You know, like now, I'm going to go with there's not enough fish down this edge. Oh, that's another bream. Pulled out of it again. The curse, Peter, the curse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch that for the carp rig, and I'm going to just get my cupping kit out, because I forgot to do it, and I'm going to dump a load of ground bait down that edge. That's what I'll do in a match. And then we're going to have a look shallow. Won't be a minute. So this rig, there's a bit of work to do here, isn't there? Right. Get this back on the white kit. And then match up. The only thing that's not going to be right is I don't have any worms. And worms would be my bait of choice. Quickly sort this rig out. It's going to be a bunch of maggots because I've got a size 10 hook. Just need to tidy and shut the rig. at this. Plumbed up and shot it up. Have a look to see if anything wants to play. Shallow. This is a 0.4. One number 10 and 5 number 8s. Okay, looks about right. So yeah, if I was fishing a match right now, I'd be like, right, dump a load of maggots and ground bait down there. Big pot, don't mess about. That's what we'll do. Interesting, I fished next to Connor Barlow one year in the Pole Masters, and we were, where were we? Were we the other side of New? Yeah, maybe we were on the far side of New actually, by where the road is. And this is what happened. Connor had gone across and he wasn't really catching. And I was trying to catch fish shallow, and then suddenly I see Connor's gone and absolutely filled it into ground bait on the far bank, and I was confused as to why he'd done it. And I spoke to him afterwards. He was a really nice guy, and he'd said that he'd realised that he wasn't going to catch enough compared to the guy that was in the section that you could see catching. So we decided the only way to catch, to beat him, or to stand a chance, was to catch big carp. That was as simple as that. And from that moment in the match, that's all he was trying to do. So I've put in 3 big lumps of ground bait, I've put in a pot of loose ground bait. We're going to give that half an hour as if this was a match. So 3:21, 13:21, 1:21, and then I'm going to go over it and I'm going to have a look. But we now are going to have a quick look shallow to see if any fish have come shallow. I don't suspect it, but let's start off on the 14 inches, something like that. I do think this might be completely pointless, but we're going to do it anyway. Big black horrible cloud over there. Right, anyway, 1, 2, 3. You watch clunk fish. No point fishing shallow. Fish first chuck. The second turnover. Thank you very much. First shallow fish of the year. Betting with me being the only person feeding or fishing on the lake, it's absolutely solid in front of me. Look at that duck. The duck is crazy. It's just hanging off the top kit of my bait, and duck's looking at it. As soon as I'm coming straight for that maggot. Right. 2, 3. Off you go, and then go. A little indication. My maggot's in the wrong place. Right. Okay. Slight issue with carp in distance. Go away, duck. I really don't want to look at duck today. I've got to fix that because I fired the first amount of bait, first lot of bait too far. Please excuse me, I'm a bit out of practice. I've not fished shallow since June last year. And then I don't even think, did I catch shallow last year? I did my pole masters. I don't think I did. I had one, the last day I was fishing 14 metres to my left at some reeds. I was shallow rig on, but I wasn't fishing shallow. It's awkward in the wind. The wind is just horrible, but I'm not sure it matters too much if I'm fishing shallow, you know, everything getting dragged all over the place. Certainly do need to sort my catapulting out. All over the place today. Getting the smallest of bites, you know, as if there's some fish moving around. I've just upped the feed quite a lot compared to what I was feeding, so I'm going to cut back the amount I'm putting in. I'll keep up the frequency, but I am just going to start putting in a bit less. bit shallower than the rig. Trying to remember all the rules of shallow fishing now. Miss loads of bites, get a shallower rig out. I think that was the advice once. Don't fish shallow. 45-mile-an-hour gust. Bait's all over the place. I don't know if it's effective, but I wanted to see if you could catch fish shallow today. The answer is yes. So I need to be thinking about it on Sunday. Biggest F1 of the day. Can't you up? There you go, look. You're all 3.5 pound all day long, if not 4. So I'm getting bites. Could just be a factor of shocking feeding ground. Could just be a factor of I'm the only one here putting bait in. They're happy to compete for it. It's like cup up in the water, but the fish were quite warm. Feeding's horrific. But I'm getting bites. Gust. Can't feed it. Either on the peg, sorry, I'm too sure I'm too far over. Just a bit used to firing this catapult with 13 metres. I'm trying to hold a pole in the gusts. I wonder if what I'm better off doing is just putting the pole down, feeding, and then just turning the rig over. Or maybe tapping, I don't know. So let's try that. Let's see if I can I'm not going to feed. Catapult down. It's causing more harm than good. Just turn the rig a little bit. Keep doing that. See if I get a fish out of it. So tap, slap, got myself a fish. So now I'm gonna bring in. I'll feed before I go back out. Turning the rig and tapping, but not feeding. Just going to move those shots when I bring this rig back out. I want them more a bit further away from that bend. Looks like another good fish. Feels like there's some weight to you. Big F1 or you're a carp. Oh. Overdid that, did I? Whoops. Okay, so I feed twice. I can feed accurately to where I think I want to be. All the ducks get half of it. And I can turn the rig over and tap to get myself a bite. Look right there. Stop feeding with the pole in my hand. Those shots, shots just too close to that, to those magnets. Just spread them about a bit. Not a bite though. I just think I might get a bite quicker if I move these up. Definitely able to catch shallow then. And the fish tapping towards us, okay. Right. Loads of fish in there. Ooh, the one pulled a bit too hard. working though, even with all the ducks. I'll just go quite heavy on the second feed. I want to feed, but instead I'm going to tap it. Hopefully it's going to be enough to get me a bite. Feeding pattern's irregular. It's all over the place, but with the wind as it is, then you know, I don't think this is a bad. This is not a bad situation. You know, I'm catching, hooking at least, plenty of fish. It's a bit like now, it feels like a bit long since I've fed, too long, but I've got no choice with the wind what it is. Just do my best to get a bite as quick as I can. Still has grabbed it as I've moved that then. I don't get this wrong. You little ducks over there, you can have some food. Feed some more in the shadow arm. Get back on it. I'll give it a one duck, spook him away. Fish straight away. Come on. need to look down the edge in a second, see if there's any carp turned up. But I need to just get in my head that I need to be prepared to catch fish shallow over the weekend. Easy mama duck. I think what I'll do is I'll just give this another minute or so, and then I'll go and I'm going to look on that edge, or I'm going to look on that track line. There's got to be fish on that track. Maybe that's my run, my short run, my shallow run finished. Helps if I got bait on the hook. Maybe that was the problem. I just want to compare that to that track rig. Where is it? That is half depth. That's what I call them at. Right, let's see if there's a carp sitting under that edge line. Right, there's my trail. There we go. This fish is with a bunch of maggots. As I said, if it was the match I want this to be, a worm. Let's fish this with. Five maggots on a size 10. no additional bait. Because what I want is I want it to be fish just sitting and milling around the area. They'll come in for that ground bait and stayed. Shot on that float. Oh no, I don't. Oh, maybe I laid the rig over a fish. Maybe that's why it wouldn't settle. Oh, I got a bite. Interesting. A few bits of grass and stuff. I think it's starting to grow up those irises or whatever that is. It's just sending out shoots horizontally through the lake, and every now and then I just keep lying the rig on it. And the wind makes it a bit awkward. If it wasn't so windy, then if there was carp over that ground bait, they'd kick it up and I'd have a good chance of seeing it. Whereas I can't against the ripple. That's the sort of thing that I'm talking about, is down there. Out for another look. There's a swirl. I saw the swirl. It's definitely coming on that bait. It's great to know. Definitely a carp there. So much I don't care about that little bit of weed on the line. I'm going straight back in. It's a very telltale carpy swirl where it's tailed up, feeding on the bait. I really want to hook it right now. Come on, fish. I'm thinking that it also might help just to have some micros made up as well. So I'll put ground bait and micros in, so it means even if they come in, they'll waft enough bait around to keep them rooting down there for ages. Definitely a carp down there. There we go. That's a bit low. You're not. No, that's fine. funny because it is a carp. You'll know what I meant when I said there was a carp down there. Little mirror carp. Beautiful fish. Where's your mum and dad? Something else. Come on, bigger carp. That fish didn't make that swell. Oh, you teased me. Look, there's a swell there now. I didn't feel the fish, so maybe it's just going to come straight back in. Yeah, definitely need micros down there as well. Carp bite should be no messing about. It should be just straight under, no debate, hit the fish, you know, strike into it, that's done. Oh, come on, don't tease me. That's a carp. I'm sure that's going to be. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Either way, it's a nice fish. I'm not going to refeed. Straight out into the middle of the lake. That's exactly what I want. Just happens to be about £8 lighter than I want. Trouble with that size 10 of you. This with me as well, actually. I think you just get to that point where I could just chuck anything in. Chuck a handful of, let's say we're on top of that ground though. Excuse me, dump all that in. 2 o'clock. So I think we've learnt quite a lot today. We've sorted out meat short. Definitely seen carp respond to that pole mix, dumping it in down the edge. I've caught shallow. I haven't caught down the track, but that's only, I think, because I haven't put the rig down there. I'm wondering if I drew a peg like this, I should also just be chucking a bit of bait down this edge to the right. The only thing is it's significantly shallower. There was a fish, those reeds early in the day, which made me think about it. So I do wonder about that. I will try that down the track in a minute. Might need to leave this to settle a bit, I don't know. There's definitely some bigger carp down this. I'm confident there's some bigger carp down this edge because they swelled up, which for me is distinctive of big carp tailing up on your ground bait. So I'm confident in that. I'm thinking corn might also be a good alternative to worm. There, another big swell to the right of the peg. There was a little dink on the float as if the fish had brushed the rig, and then there was a big swell just to the right. So there's certainly some other fish coming to have a look. It is a long wait though. If I was to have 2 or 3 and they were F1s, not good carp, then I would look for a different line. Quite a lot at the bottom, looks. That reed stuff. Nice and clean, no messing about, float straight under. Best ones are when it goes straight under and the first thing you know about it is that the pole's at the top of the water because the elastics come out. They're the best ones. Pig's getting pushed about, so there's definitely a big fish in the peg, or a lot of smaller fish. Come on. Maybe it isn't. No idea. I'm not pulling that hard. I'm going to have a look down the track quickly. Right, and then the only rig I've not tried today is that one. Let's have a quick look down the middle, see what's on the bottom. I set it up, top 6. Yeah, maybe it was. Bites of me. It's uncomfortable and it's a bit yuck. I'm only fishing it just to see what's there. I wouldn't be trying to fish this like this. Unless I desperately had to, I'd have gone back short again, I think, to try and get something I can control a little bit better. Out there for one more bite, one more fish, I think. And then I'm going to get back down that edge. See if I can catch a friendly carp. I'm not feeding, but I was just thinking that maybe there isn't, maybe there isn't a lot of bait down there actually. And then anyone here, and I've had fish feeding shallow, and I think there's F1s around, and yeah, that kind of thing. So maybe I should have fed before I shipped out, but something I need to remember for the weekend, which is there might not be any bait left, and there's just clearly some small silvers down the bottom. Having a little look around. So I'll be back in a second, and then we'll go back down there and try and catch a carp, I think. So bear with me a second. I'm gonna leave you to take in the view, and then I'll be back. I've just got to sort out these top kits behind me, all going all over the place. See, it's quite windy. Well, I say it's quite windy, it's not too bad. Right, put that there. I don't want to lose it. Back in a moment. Right. Oh, I won't be doing that because the float smashed. Oh dear. I've no idea what's done that. Oh. Ay, 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 ay. I don't know what's happened there, but I don't remember hitting it against anything. Right. quite plan on using all of those rigs as quickly as that. Right, let's cheat a little bit. Obviously bashed against something, that rig, but I don't know what it's bashed against. One number 10 and 5/8 it should be. Get back out there. Let's go again. So it's at this point, I guess, where I'd say thanks for tuning in today. If you're subscribed, if you could hit the thumbs up, like button, that'd be great. If you're not subscribed and you're watching this now or later on, if you could consider hitting that subscribe button. It's a free way to support the channel and really helps with the channel visibility and stuff. Helps put the channel in front of more people. Just don't think that that's shotted properly, and now I've found the fish. Right, is it shotted properly? Must have been sitting on a bit of weed again. It's gone straight under. not a carp though. It's a very excitable F1. More fish there now though. Actually, I tell a lie. It's a little comment. I wonder if that ground bait is just helping in general, you know? When I go and fish it down that edge, should I just put a pot of ground bait in to start with anyway? Maybe that's the right thing to do. Not sure. I hope it's been good, Neil. I haven't caught carp yet though, Neil. I've got to catch carp. I'd like to catch carp. That's the sort of statement that could see me here for another 5 hours, but I would like to catch a carp. Just to prove to myself that that is what's coming in this edge. One baby common and one baby mirror carp don't count. I've seen swirls. I don't think I've quite got the right bait. I would want micros as well to put down there and keep them entertained, but I want a bigger bait. I'm not a fan of. I don't mind 8 dead maggots, but I think maybe this would be better if it was 2 bits of corn or, you know, full dendrobine or something like that. Maybe that's just a... No, it's because it's on the bottom. So as I think about catching a carp down this edge, just a little review of the last, what's it now, 15 and a bit hours. Is that a carp? Is that not crazy? I think I've dragged a bunch of F1s in there. So I started short on meat with a 4x10 float, wasn't right. Changed to a 4x12 float on meat, it was much better, much better. Caught more, the float sat well. I managed to be a bit more disciplined and stop striking most of the time. And just lifted into the bites, which meant I didn't pull the bait off. So that was good. Very happy with that, and I had that short line going for 2 hours. I was fishing it. I've no idea what the pace needs to be, but there was certainly fish still there. They didn't all go. That could be because I'm on the lake on my own, or it could just be because they were happy to stay. But that was good. I went down the edge. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. I don't know if it's because I'm out from the bank where I am, but it's because there's quite a lot of rubbish on the bottom. It could have also been because I just loose fed maggot. I should have put some ground bait in at the start. So that's something that I think I might change. I had a look shallow. I'd been feeding that line for 2-3 hours. I went shallow. That's a carp. It's got to be a carp. Surely that's a carp. Surely that's a carp. Is that a carp? Three times that's happened. I don't know if I'm foul looking at this fish. Where was I? I went shallow, I caught shallow. Clearly the fish are happy to come up. And for reference, it was half depth. I checked the shallow kit versus the track kit. And those fish are at half depth. It might have been even shallower. So I was missing a few bites. So that's something I need to think about. But they're certainly willing to come up to what, you know, my sort of default starting shallow rig. So I need to be prepared for people catching weights of fish shallow. If the wind hadn't been awkward and my ability to catapult bait in the right place had been a bit better, then that could have been good. Going down the edge and changing it, putting more ground bait in, I think has definitely worked. It's sparks more life into the peg. I don't know how many fish I'm foul looking. Please let that be a carp. Come on. No, I don't think it is. It's just a fat F1, I think. I'm getting distracted. And then I went down the track and there was, you know, as I expected, you know, always a fish to be had down there. Maybe it's a carp. Maybe this is a carp. Maybe that line was just wrapped round its back to start with. So no, that's not a carp. That's a F1 move, that is. It's got to be a big F1. So I'm just talking and talking and talking. If it's an F1, it's got to be a 4 pound, 5 pound F1, surely. I've stripped some black hydro. Whatever it is, I've had like 3 or 4 of these and they've all come off like this. It's just the way it goes a bit scatty there makes me think it's not a carp, but it could be a little stocky carp, I guess. I can't lift it. If I lift it, I'm going to pull that hook out. Swirl, swirl, swirl around the peg. I don't want to let that elastic back, but can't be an F1. Surely can't be an F1. Got to be a carp, surely. This is black hydro. Leave it out. It doesn't feel like a big fish, and it does that. Might be foul looked. It doesn't feel like it's foul looked though. It feels just like it's solid lump of a fish. If I was at gold, this would be a 10 pound carp playing me like this. No idea what this is. Okay, so it is a big carp. Okay, that's a lump. Okay. Yeah, if it was a gold it would 10 pound carp. If it's at Tunnel Barn Farm, it's a 12 pound carp. Get in there. Get in there. Hello. I said there might be some like you if I put some ground bait down that edge. Right, now I'm going to try and hold you up with that other camera, which hopefully is still running. If not, just for reference, there's the fish. I'd say it's a good it's a good lump, that. Whoa. So if you'll oblige, I'll hold you up like that. Look at the camera. Now bring it back. So that's 4 fish I've hooked like that then, down that edge. Maybe they were all carp, maybe they weren't. Got a big pot down there and put another big bottle of ground bait down. Go down there again. The only danger I've got, thinking about all this, is one bag of that pole mix is not going to be enough if I end up doing this. It's not going to be enough. I think they fight maybe just a little bit differently because of the depth of the water. Here versus gold, I think gold's a little bit deeper. And they thump around a little bit more. That's a beautiful fish. If I'm going to do well on this spring festival, and in these opens that I'm going to fish the open this weekend, bite straight away. I'm going to fish the open this weekend, and I'm going to fish one maybe the weekend after. And then after that, you've got the practice match on the Sunday. So I've got 3. That's hooked on the reed. 3 matches I can fish for the festival. If I'm going to do well down here, and I think that this type of fishing has got to be in my arsenal. And I've got to be ready to do it. And I know what I'm doing and I'm comfortable doing it. It's a great way for me to build a weight. But I need to bring more ground bait and bigger particles with me if I'm going to do it properly. Just need a few cans of corn. Instead of 1 bag of that ground bait, 3 bags of it, and then maybe not that ground bait. I'm not sure. Maybe ground bait and micros. So no, it's not as if it's not as if it's not working right. I'm fishing a bunch of maggots. You know, it's working. ones all over the down the edge and say that I'm going to get carp over it. And a little common, a little mirror, big common, and then there's a little common, I think. Oh, that was a little mirror. But you know, it attracts the carp in, you know, they can't resist it. And you start dumping bait like this. I do need it to be the big ones. Feels good though, I'm waiting for another big carp. That is a carp. Oh. Did I foul hook it? Don't know, I'm going to have to just check this. How deep, well, how deep I am, I might. Come on. Get down there again. So yeah, episode 1 is short meat, episode 2 is slow and down the edge. I don't know why that cut out earlier. I think it was some problem with GoPro. It's quite annoying that it cut out several hours into a stream, you know. Can't be helped, but suddenly everything went ding 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 ding, and I'm like, why is that cut out? Battery's fine, you know, everything's all good, connections are all fine. Okay, you are either a carp or a big F1. You are a big F1. So I don't mind catching them like this, you know. So you're not an F1, I think you're a carp. You are a F1 because you've got no groups. Just fish like this, you know. Oh, a lot of carp in this venue. And there's a lot in Newport. I remember it before. Somebody saying that there's loads of carp in this lake. We drew the other side, I remember years ago. And I was fishing next to Jake Gallagher. I don't think Jake fishes anymore, but well, even if he's, I don't know where he is. But I was fishing next to Jake, and he caught loads of carp. I just sat there watching him, you know, in complete disbelief that he was catching so many carp at this venue, which is, you know, renowned for F1s. Right, I think if I have one more carp, that's going to do me for the day. I think I've learned what I wanted to learn. I need to go back and retie some of these rigs. I need to check out 5-inch hook lengths. Short with meat. I can't remember if I've got 4 inches on or 3 inches on. I'll have to check. If they're 4s, I'm not going to do anything about it at all. If they're 3s, I'll have a think. Yeah, I want to just going to have a look at that when I watch the rest of that video from Mikey Williams, and I'll link that in the comments. It's a good reference for some of the way that I worked out where to fish that short line today. It was good. It was a good tip. Made a lot of sense, so that was good. Sorry, I'm just watching this float dance around. It's a big fish in the pegs, just pushing the rig. So I want to do that, retie these rigs, get some other bits sorted, order some more floats, because I didn't have enough of these 0.4s and I've smashed one. I definitely need to get hold of some more of them. I thought that was my pole or something flying down the causeway, and get off home. And I think I might do I'll do one of those little mini sessions tonight, debrief, and I might play some clips from from today's session. I can do that too. So come on, another carp would be nice. If you just joined me, then hello. I've been here since just before, I don't know what time did we start, it's before 10, 5 to 10 today, and I've had a great day. I'm on new pool, peg 13 at Tunnel Barn Farm. I've caught plenty of F1s. I've caught them short on the deck, down the edge. I've caught carp down the edge, and I'm just holding out for another one now. and the fact that I've said it might be the kiss of death, but we'll see. It's 3 o'clock. Give myself half hour, just remember I've got to go home for something else. So yeah, let's have half hour of this. Let's see if I can get another proper carp. My rig's getting pushed around. I'm very happy that it's, because there's something of size in the peg. You know, just making a big disturbance with its huge fins. Okay, well, I think this is it. Felt like it was it. Definitely feels like it's it. Yeah, it looks like it's it as well. Okay. Don't go crazy now. Oh. Ay, 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 ay. Didn't feel right. Didn't feel right. Float's just sitting quite low. I'm going to just knock off that number 10. Pull down to number 8. I might need to put some more bait in. Let's see. the swirl, I see it. So I think it's a bit awkward. I'm fishing slightly away. There's another one, look. What are you? Carp or F1? And I'm fishing slightly away from the bank, and I think what's happening is they're coming in, coming around, which is what's causing me to foul hook them. Ground bait in there. Hello mate, you alright? You're catching me at the end of the day. Just trying to have another lump down the edge. I had one a good double figure fish. I'm just trying to have one more to finish before I get off home. Eyes down. Next big lump down the edge, here it comes. Oh, close shot under there. That's the kind of bite you need, and it just needs to just pull the elastic out, and then there's no messing about. When the float goes and then the elastic goes, it's generally never foul hooked. Just a little bit out from the bank, and I think it gives just them enough room to see. Like now the rig's being pushed around. It's not an F1 doing that. Size 10 on this edge rig. .019 to .017, black hydro, size 10 hook. I've had one proper double figure carp, about £10. I've hooked a few and pulled out, and I've just foul hooked a few. I think that's the problem. We're doing ducks. That is a F1 carp. Bait there. I foolishly said that I want another big carp, and then I'm going to pack up and go home. Well, it means it won't happen. but I have limited myself to half an hour, and then I'm going to go anyway. Because I've got stuff I need to get done. Definitely got better down this left-hand edge since I put ground bait in, whether it's carp or F1. So when I fish the match at the weekend, I need to put ground bait down the edge. That's not an F1. Have you done me in the reeds? You have. You cheeky fish. Should be happy that I've got the rig back, but the cheek of that. Just went straight into the bank and then came through the reeds. Done me. Yeah, it's a bit breezy, yeah. It was flat calm this morning. I came on this peg because the wind was off my back. Now it's left to right, 45-mile-an-hour gusts. It's all right though. When I fish down this edge, it's not a problem. But it wasn't so good when I was doing a bit of shallow fishing earlier. But then again, I still caught though. I'm the only person on the lake today, so I think they're crawling up, crawling up the line in my peg. But I just want another decent carp to finish. The rig's getting pushed around quite a bit. It's definitely big carp. I've got a 0.4 of a gram on to sort of resist so it doesn't go under too easily, it stops the issues with foul looking or striking at nothing, do you know what I mean, when the fish push through. But there's definitely a few lumps down there. That's a proper bite. Right. Fat F1 though, I think. You're no carp. You've got no barbs or barbules. Right, back out there. Cheese paste. I'm trying to think which session now. The last match I fished on the river, I used cheese paste for a chuck. I had a 5-pound chub in that match, but it was on, what was that? Worm, I think. I don't think I caught anything on the cheese paste at the back of the, no, nothing on the cheese paste at all. I did a video that never made it to light, because I said at the beginning of the video that if you see it I've caught, and if you haven't seen this, you know, if you see this video I've caught fish, and I never caught. And I was fishing for chub that day, and I went up and down the Thames in that stretch, and interesting, I caught 3 5-pound chub during the winter, all on the pole feeder. One on double pinky, one on worm, and I think the other one might have been 3 or 4 maggots, I can't remember. But nothing on cheese paste specifically. Ciao, Leonardo. A few people rocking in now. I've been here since 10 o'clock. What are you doing? Nice to see everyone. I've had a cracking day's fishing. You have to watch the stream back. I'm preparing for fishing the spring festival here at Tunnel Barn Farm. It's a 3-day event, 14th, 15th and 16th I think it is, and I'm just coming down to try and sort out some rigs and stuff today, work out, you know, can I catch on meat short and stuff like that, and then I'm fishing a match here Sunday, an open, and then I'm down for an open the weekend after, and then the weekend after it's the practice match on the Sunday, and then the festival on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So loads of action from Tunnel Barn Farm, and right now I'm just entertaining myself at the end of the day by catching some, or hooking some big carp down the edge. Although that's absolutely potentially going to be a big F1. Not even a big F1. I'm fishing black hydro and the thing's pulling like crazy. You know, it's going too fast to be a carp, you know. Too fast. It gives you away that you're not a carp. On 5 maggots on a size 10 hook. I think maybe they would leave it alone a little bit more if it was 2 dendrobemas strung on there, but yeah, I'm prepping. Every year I fish the Daiwa Pole Masters. It's the only time I come to Tunnel, and every year I come and fish it, and I fish the practice match the day before, and I fish the 3-day event, and I always have this feeling that by day 3 I've sort of worked out what I want to do, and I'm going to go through my results for the last 10 years and have a little look. But the trouble is I'm just not tuned in enough to catching F1s, so I need to practice so I thought I'd come down and practice some stuff today. Even now I'm fishing for carp down the edge, you know, it doesn't count, but I've caught some fish shallow. I need to practice my catapult skills. I'm awful. Today's been shocking. Because I'm normally fishing 13 meters, but now I'm fishing top 6. So I've got some things I've got to get better at. So what I thought I'd do is check myself in for a few matches first and come down for a practice session. And I thought that maybe if I fish the spring festival and I prep for that, then I'll be more geared up and more practiced for the Daiwa Pole Masters in June, which I'm also fishing. So that's the sort of theory. Whether it works or not, I don't know, but I've caught plenty of fish today, but I'm the only person fishing the lake, so you know, you can't rely on anything in terms of volumes of fish, but I've sorted out some stuff rig wise, and that's important. Now thinking that what's going on is there's a few F1s have pushed in the peg. And that's what's going on. I feel like I want to feed it again. But my cupping kit's just flicked away in the wind, annoyingly. So I'm going to give this another couple of minutes, then I'm going to refeed it. As I said though, when it's some carp, you know, they'll just go under and go. You know, all the time I'm striking at bites, you know, I'm more convinced it's, you know, I've got fish bashing into the rig and I'm striking at that. Anyway, as I was saying, I've been here for a while. I've got 2 streams from today. The first one, before it cut out, the first one's me fishing short and trying to sort that line out and doing some things to make that work. And then this second stream, which is this one now, is where I've been ducks on the platform trying to eat ground bait off my box. This second one is I've not learnt so much, but I've been fishing down the edge and I caught some fish shallow. But I think in true typical form, before I shipped out the rig to fish shallow, I said I don't really know why I'm doing this, it might be completely pointless, and then I heard a fish first chuck, as you do. Right, one more missed bite and then I'm gonna... No, one more missed bite. Then we go to strike and then you suddenly stop yourself. It's one of those moments. Come on, fish, I'm sitting here ever so patiently. Float is dancing around like it's on Strictly. Just need a nice clean bite and I'm going to wait for it. Oh, that was it, then my leg went. I was about to lean in. Like, there it goes again. Oh. Right, speed it again. Interestingly, the match, the Spring Festival, is a pole and rod match, if I remember rightly, on the flyer. And I was saying earlier today, you know, if it was, you know, blowing a hoolie like it was earlier, you know, halfway through the match, you might want to chuck it up the bank there, opposite. If this was a normal match, you know, what's that across there? 14.5 meters, 14 meters, something like that. So I'd definitely set up a rig across, and if you were catching there, you might want to chuck a little bomb over if it was good, you know. Or if it was completely awful everywhere, then you might want to just, you know, chuck some 8mm pellets in and, you know, try your chance. But it shouldn't be awful because it's Tunnel Barn Farm. Now, if you're not a carp, then I'm disappointed because you've gone into there like a carp. You're not. You're another big F1. So I'm slightly disappointed, even though I'm not. So I said one more and then I'm going to pack up. I'd like to catch that one more and I'm worried I've missed it. You know what? Let's try putting double 6mm meat on the hook. But yeah, I don't know, would you ever chuck a rod out at tunnel? Not sure, because if you're not catching short and you're not catching down the track and you're not catching down the edge left or right, then why would you catch across? And if you're not catching on, you know, those 4 lines, you should have turned them into carp lines, and then you should catch, because there's loads of carp in the place as well. So I'm saying it's a good idea, but then I'm thinking, but I don't know when I would ever do it. Maybe if it's absolutely blowing a hoolie and you're not catching on any of those places, then maybe I would chuck over to the island and just fire 8mm pellets over. I don't know. I never really thought about it before. I like the idea of that, but I don't like the idea of that, because I'm gonna strike off this meat. Alright, in theory I've only got about another 7 minutes to catch this carp before my 30 minutes is up. But I said I was going to give myself before I packed up to go home. It should be a bit disappointing. Although I have hooked one and pulled out of it, but you know, that doesn't count. Yeah, no, I caught shallow. Even with this wind, I caught shallow. I was feeding it for a couple of hours with maggots in the track. I went out, had one first put. Best F1 of the day, actually, size-wise. And then I was trying to feed while I had the pole in my hand, and then that didn't work at all. And then so I decided the best thing to do was to feed, then ship out, and then just tap and slap. And it was working, but the ducks were giving me a bit of a tough time. But I didn't stay doing it. I just wanted to do it to see if I could catch, and if they were shallow. And you know, they did come shallow. I was only doing it while I was waiting to see if carp would come down the edge. I was trying to, you know, see if I could catch, you know, this way, that way, you know, and everything else today, to know what to be ready for at the weekend, you know. So I've pulled fishing again with that ground bait, but I've just pulled in more F1s, I can just see the way the rig's getting pushed. It's not the same as when it's carp. And they're not settled on the bait. I think that's because I don't have any micros in it. If I had micros in the ground bait, I think it would have been better. They would have got their head down. Oh, there's a swell. That's not a F1. There's a big swell down there again. Okay, see if I can land it on your red carp. Is that? No, it's an F1, isn't it? It's jumping out like it's a dolphin. Come on. Oh, that's brilliant. Maybe I foul hooked it. Loved it. Is it? I'm glad it's right. It's not massive upload speeds at this venue. It's, you know, between 5 and 10. You know, 15 at best upload. Which is alright, it should be enough to do it. I was just seeing that GoPro now support 1080p upload, which will be even nicer picture. It says Wi-Fi recommended. I need to just test it and see what it's like. Now that's a carp bite. Oh, come on. Come on. That's a perfect textbook float under, plastic out carp bite. Yeah, the problem is I've got no there's several problems with what I'm doing right now. Firstly, I'm fishing a little bit of no man's land, and what I mean by there is the fish can come from every single angle. I'm not tight enough to a bank really for fishing down the edge. That's the first problem. That can cause me to have issues with the rig getting moved around, more foul hookers, that type of stuff. That's the first problem. Second problem I've got is I've got no particles really in the ground bait. I've not made up any 2 mils. Brought any corn. I think I'll end up fishing like this. This wasn't the plan for the day. I'm just having a bit of fun. So I haven't got the right bait. So I haven't got enough particles on the bottom to hold carp there. So what's happening is I'm feeding the ground bait. They're coming in, they're wafting it around all over the place, looking for something to eat, and there's nothing there. And what's happening is they're then searching all over the peg. You know, that's another cracking bite. So they're searching all around the peg for something to eat, and then I'm getting more instances where the rig's getting just knocked by the fish. There's loads of fish down there. but they're not. You get this situation where they just sort of start gill feeding on the ground bait and they just start sifting it through their mouths. But I'm just trying to catch a carp. I should have had worm today, that's what I should have on the hook. That's what I should have had on the hook. Whole dendrobina, 2 dendrobinas, 2 big bits of corn. That's what this rig's for. It's not for 5 maggots. But anyway, I've got about another 8 minutes. So I'll stay till 1:45 in this, and I will call it a day. It's been enjoyable, and I've got a lot sorted out in my head for the weekend, so that's good. Yeah, I'm watching it. I wouldn't fish. I'll have a think about it. I wouldn't normally fish like that. Are you doing that for? Are you doing that for carp, Mick, or F1s? You know, down the edge on a venue like this, I would feed it with ground bait, micros, and then bigger particles over the top. 4 mils are too small. The 2 mils are just there to keep them grabbing around in the peg from fish to fish. I'm looking to catch on double corn or worm, really. If I'm fishing maggots down the edge, then I'm looking for F1s down the edge. Might be foul up. It's foul up. For carp, Mick. Yeah, that's... Right, what have I got? 4 more minutes. And then I've got to go. you just joined in, you're not sure where I am, at a place called, I'm at a venue called Tunnel Barn Farm today in Warwickshire, and I'm practicing for an upcoming 3-day festival, but I'm just spending the last part of the session here today trying to catch a carp down the edge. I've had one good carp, £10 plus, and I foul hooked a couple, and I'm just trying to have one more, but instead I'm just catching loads of F1s now. Yeah, gotcha, Mick. See, I wouldn't feed them 4 mils. Because I think it does too good a job at feeding them. You know, they can actually get stuff. I'd always fish ground bait and micros, which will bring them in. And then keep them rooting around, but there's less, you know, less food content there. You know, I want to get them in the peg, but I don't really want to feed them. I just want to get them in there and hold them in there till I go and catch them. Hopefully that was going to be a little carp. It's not, it's got F1. Right, we're going down there for one more fish, regardless of what it is. But then we're done. Oh. I haven't just trashed my rig shipping out. Right, eyes down, final fish. Alright, here we go. If I was in the match right now, I'd be quite happy with the way this was fishing. It's F1 to finish. Go. Final fish of the day. Crazy F1. That's my lot. Just a slight different bait, and that would be working really well down there. well, thanks for coming by, everybody. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. If like, I'm not sure if it was Mick or Nicola, like they said, you know, if you don't hit the thumbs up, then please do. It helps with the visibility, not of just this stream, but the channel. And that's a free way to support, and I really appreciate that. So I'm going to just sort this tangle out now, and I'm going to pack up, and I'm going to head off home to remake some rigs, to see if I can sort out why I can't shot this 4x10 float properly. I might need to just do something a little bit differently to get it to work, but I'm going to show you a really good example of how to get your rig out of a tangle at the end of the day. Well, nearly then, nearly. And I'm going to head off home. Ta-da! Fingers crossed, all been good. I'll be streaming it. So this is me saying goodbye from Peg 13 Newport Taliban Farm. Have a great day, and I will catch you all later.